So, the movie begins with a little girl, Eve. She was at the police station, in an injured state. She was missing her family, holding a ballerina toy in her hand. The scene shifts into flashback from here, where we saw Eve with her dad on an island. Both of them were hidden there to escape from a cult group. It is revealed that Eve's entire family was a part of a cult, and her dad was helping them escape that cult to save them. So, at that time his wife and elder daughter were killed by the people of the cult. Despite this, the danger was not over, because the people of the cult were also looking for them on the charge of betrayal and wanted to kill. During these thoughts, their big villa is attacked. The people of the cult first attack and kill the guards present outside the villa, and then they intrude the house. Eve's dad was mentally prepared for all these things. So, he immediately started fighting with the guards and killing them, and it is revealed that Eve's dad was also a very big assassin. While fighting like this, he spread smoke on the way, due to which the people of the cult are not able to see them, and Eve's dad quickly hides in a room with Eve. And then many other members of the cult also come here. And at the same time, the leader of the cult, the Chancellor, also approaches here. Eve's dad was killing all of them one by one. But the number of people of the cult was very high, and all of them together finally captured Eve's dad. After catching him, the Chancellor comes in front of him and says, "First of all, you married a girl from our cult. After that you betrayed us. You deserve punishment. We have killed your wife and elder daughter. But if you want Eve to stay alive, then kill yourself. Otherwise, I will kill both you and your daughter." Eve's dad loved his daughter's life very much. That's why he started to take his own life. But then his hidden daughter Eve came out and stopped her dad from doing so. On hearing his daughter's voice, Eve's dad also threw the gun and started fighting with everyone here. In such a situation, the Chancellor leaves from here, and this fight continues. A man from cult was about to kill Eve's dad by stabbing him with knife while knocking him down. But then Eve came from behind and shot at him, and she killed that man. After which Eve came out of this villa with her injured dad. As both of them come out, a huge explosion takes place here. Eve's dad had already planted many bombs in this house because before coming out, due to this explosion, all the members of cult are killed. The Chancellor who is coming out from here feels that Eve and her dad were also killed in this explosion. That's why he leaves this island. Eve's dad's condition was very bad. Eve was sitting on the seashore waiting for help. But then her dad apologized to her, and he died there. Time moves on, the police reach here, and seeing injured Eve, they take her to the police station. This is exactly the same scene which was shown in the very beginning of the movie. Here, after a while, a man comes who tells Eve that I am your dad's uncle, and your dad was a very nice person. He wished to give you a very good life. Now it is up to me to fulfill that wish. Saying this, he takes Eve from here and brings her to a theater, where a teacher was teaching ballerina dance to all the children. And after a while, Eve is introduced to the director of this place. The director asks a strange question to that man, that does Eve know everything about her mom and dad? So, that man replies a no, and the director tells Eve that your dad spent his entire childhood here. And I think you will also enjoy living here. Eve also agrees to stay here, after which that man gives Eve a coin and leaves from there, saying that I will always be ready whenever you need my help. After this, Eve meets the teacher here, who tells Eve that there are two types of training here. One is of ballerina dance, and the other is of killing people. Giving the example of the coin held in Eve's hand, she tells Eve that every coin has two sides. A person should know how to fight, and also how to escape. Eve likes this, and she agrees to take both the trainings. 12 years later, the scene shifts to Eve, who is performing ballerina dance where it all once began. The training of ballerina dance training was so tough that Eve's feet started bleeding, but she was still moving. Here her teacher tells her to go and get your feet bandaged. While applying bandages, we see Eve's friend who asks her to stop training for the time being. But Eve says that I want to become the best ballerina dancer just like you. So that girl replies to her that you are already a very good assassin, and you should pay more attention to that training. After some time, we are shown Eve's training to become an assassin. where they also fight with many boys, and here they are taught to fire all kinds of guns along with fighting. Today Eve had to fight with many boys. But Eve was losing in every fight. Then her coach asked her, "What are you doing today?" So Eve replied that all of them are much stronger than me. So her coach said that the reason for your defeat is not that you are less strong. The reason for your defeat is that you have already accepted defeat after seeing them, and you are not believing in yourself. Hearing this from the coach, a new enthusiasm awakens inside Eve, and she defeats even boys who are many times stronger than her, believing in herself. And this training continues like this, and 2 months pass. Eve comes to know that her best friend was sent away from here. She goes and talks to the director about this. Then the director says that those who are unable to become good assassins, we send them ahead to get training in ballerina dance. She was not a good assassin like you. So Eve says that why are good assassins not given work? I think I have become a good assassin and I should get my work. Director says, okay, but before that you have to pass some tests. In the first test, we are shown that Eve was made to sit in front of a girl. It is revealed that the girl sitting in front of her was also a student of Roma training organization. She was a girl just like Eve who was getting training here. But she ignores some matters. That is why she was made to sit in front of Eve, to be killed. Here the bell rings and both of them are instructed to prepare the gun. Eve prepares the gun much before this girl. But Eve did not have the courage to kill this girl. Meanwhile, that girl is also about to attack Eve by preparing her gun. But before that, Eve shows her courage and remembers the moment when she killed a man to save her dad. Just by gathering the same courage again, she kills this girl and saves her life. Some time passes and we see a great assassin named John inside Roma. Eve had also heard a lot about him. That is why she also immediately goes to him. And she says to him that you are a great assassin. Give me some tip to become an assassin too. Looking at Eve, John says that you have already become an assassin. I have seen it. But if you listen to me, then you should run away from here. Hearing this, she asks John the counter question. Why did you run away from here? But John leaves from here without giving any answer. Well, now after some time we are shown that finally Eve had got her first mission. She had to save a girl from a gangster who was coming to a club to kill her. Eve did not have to kill any man there. That is why she is given rubber bullets. This mission was also a kind of test for Eve. If she had passed it, she would have become an assassin. Now Eve goes to the same bar and also sees that girl whom she had to save. Before she could say anything to the girl, she sees that the gangster had come here. And she goes to him and tells him to leave this girl, otherwise it will be very bad. But that gangster pushes Eve aside and goes to that girl, and here the gangster's men start fighting with Eve. Eve fights them very bravely and shoots them with her rubber bullets, causing injury. After hitting all the people, she comes to that gangster, who is dragging the girl out of the club. She pulls the girl's hand from the gangster's hand. So here the fight starts between the gangster and Eve. This gangster was much more powerful and professional than Eve's thought. He was overpowering Eve. But then Eve started hitting him fast. And she also injured him with her gun's rubber bullets. And she finally leaves him alive in shock, pinning him against the wall. And she saved the girl and took her away from here. And in this way Eve also passed her last test of becoming an assassin. Now finally she had become an assassin of Roma. So, the same tattoo is etched on her body, which was on her dad's body. Later, it is shown in the story that Eve completed another mission by killing a man. In this fight, she herself was shot and she removed it with her own hands. After which, when she takes the photo of this dead man and sends it to her client, she gets a lot of money. Now when she leaves from here, it is shown that Eve had earlier fought with the guards of this man, and she killed all of them too. When Eve was going from here in her car, she meets with an accident with a car. The man in the car comes out and starts fighting with Eve. Eve was faster than ordinary people in fighting, but the person in front of her also looked like a professional fighter. Their fight continues for a long time, but finally Eve succeeds in killing this man. After killing, she notices a mark on the hand of this man, and she remembers that the people who killed her dad in childhood also had the same mark on their hands. After all, Who were these people? Eve becomes curious to know about them. She cuts off the hand of this man and goes to the director and asks her, "Whose hand is this?" The director, looking at this hand, asks Eve, "What do you want?" Eve says that these people killed my dad, and I want to avenge my dad. Director says to her that I don't want you to go after these people. This is a cult group and your mom was also a part of this cult. All the people of this cult are also assassins like us, and the deal between Ruskaroma and that cult group is that neither the assassins of Raskaroma nor the cult's assassins will harm the other side. Now Eve goes from here, without saying anything, to a hotel, where the same man shown in the beginning of the movie was there, who had brought Eve to Ruskaroma. She wanted to know about the cult from this man. But that man says, "Don't do like this. Those people are very dangerous." So, Eve now gives the coin back to the man, and says that I need your help. As this man had promised that whenever Eve needs his help, he will definitely help her. Now, since this time had come, that man also gets ready to help Eve and makes a call. And he provides Eve the data of a man after getting this. He says that this man is the son of the Chancellor, the leader of that cult, and his name is Daniel. Today Daniel has stayed in this hotel. You can talk to him and know about his father and his cult. Now it is known that someone had placed $400,000 bounty to assassinate Daniel. And many assassins were hidden inside this hotel to kill him. There was also a girl named Lena among them. Now Eve goes inside Daniel's room through the back door. Daniel points a gun at her as soon as he sees her. But Eve tells him that I have not come here to kill you. I just want to know the whereabouts of your dad because your dad got my dad killed, and I want to avenge from him. Here Daniel also tells him that my dad is a part of a cult, and I am also running away from his cult. That is why many people are after me to kill me. But I just want to live a free life with my daughter. These people were talking when Daniel's room was attacked, and many people started beating Daniel. Along with Daniel, Eve also supports Daniel here, and she starts fighting with all the goons. Here Daniel asks Eve for help to save his daughter. When Eve is bringing her down after saving her, many more guards come in front of her, with whom Eve starts fighting one by one, and on the other side it is shown that the people with whom Daniel was fighting, they finally shot Daniel. Here someone also attacked Eve's head from behind and made her unconscious. Eve is caught here, and that child is taken from here to the leader of the same cult, the Chancellor. When Eve regained consciousness, there were many people in front of her. And there were many people with her who were standing as punishment, and they were being punished to fight in this hotel. But Eve said that I had not come here to kill anyone. I had come only to meet Daniel. On hearing this, the rest of the people standing with her are killed, and she is released. After this, Eve goes to another man who used to provide a lot of guns to the assassins illegally. She knew that this man would know about the cult, but this man did not tell her anything about the cult. Eve was now checking the weapons here. Many people attacked here, and they were the people of cult. To save herself, Eve attacked the people of the cult with grenades and blew them all up with a bomb. Eve and that man who owned this weapon store survive in this attack. It is revealed that the owner of the weapon store also hated the cult, and he wanted to kill the members of that cult. But he was also afraid of that cult. But witnessing Eve's passion, he tells Eve the location of the cult. And Eve also leaves for there without wasting time. On the way, she gets a call from the director, and she warns her that you're going to mess with those who are our enemies. But Eve ignores her words and goes to this city of the cult. And as soon as she goes to this city, she realizes that every person living in this city is a member of the cult. Eve first goes inside a cafe, where she sees the same ballerina dance toy which her dad had gifted her in her childhood. Her memories were associated with this place. While she was observing all this, she suddenly notices that everyone has started to leave this place, and a man has attacked her after approaching. She fights with this man. However, that man was much stronger than her. While fighting, she finally gets a gun in her hand with which she shoots this man. And then the chef of this hotel also starts fighting with Eve like a professional fighter. Many people come to fight with her one after the other, and she comes out of here killing everyone. A Sikh man who is keeping an eye on the whole fight immediately tells the Chancellor that Eve has still survived. So now a girl named Lena comes to catch Eve. She knocks Eve unconscious from behind and brings her to the Chancellor. When Eve restores consciousness, the Chancellor asks, "Who are you, and what do you want? Don't you know we have a contract with Ruscaroma? You cannot harm us." So, Eve says that I am not from Ruscaroma, but I am a member of this cult. She surprises the Chancellor by telling the names of her mom and dad. The Chancellor had thought that Eve must have died years ago, but Eve was now sitting alive in front of him. Chancellor thought that Eve has come to save Daniel's daughter. But now he realizes that this matter is much bigger than that. Surprised, Lena asks the Chancellor, "Who is this girl, and whose names is she taking?" So, the Chancellor also tells that she has come to avenge her parents' death by killing me. And she is your sister, and used to be a part of the cult earlier. Lena is shocked to know this. They were still talking when Eve kills everyone from behind, leaves that house, and enters another. And Lena also quickly runs after her and stops her. Eve had now pointed a gun at Lena when Lena told her that I am your elder sister. Eve said, "How can I believe, Dad? And I came to know that you were killed years ago." Then Lena says that no, they only killed my mom. I am still alive. While they were talking, the people present outside also asked the Chancellor if they should kill both of them. Then the Chancellor also replied yes. And the assassins standing outside bombed the house. In this attack, Lena gets very badly injured. Her condition was almost fatal. When Eve comes to her, Lena tells her to definitely avenge her parents' death. We saw that Eve was also injured. But on Lena's saying, she stood up with a new courage and a new zeal. She picks up a sword lying here and decides to get out of here. And then many assassins come here, and she fights alone, slashing hands, throats, and stabbing the stomachs, leaving everyone dead. She was moving ahead, and she was also crying. Now, even the Chancellor was very scared of Eve. That's why he calls the director of Ruscaroma and says that if you want to maintain the contract between us, then first of all take this girl out of here before 12 o'clock. Otherwise, it will be very bad. The director also knew that the consequences of this threat can be severe. That's why she places a bounty to kill Eve and assigns it to John, Ruscaroma's best assassin. In a short while, John reaches here. Then the Chancellor announces in his entire city that 2 assassins have entered our cult. Whoever sees the girl should kill her, but no one is to harm the boy. Here when John comes in front of Eve, he tells her that I give you a chance. Run away from here before 12 o'clock. If you did not leave from here, then I will have to kill you reluctantly. Now, because everyone had kept an eye on both of them, John knew this. That is why he starts pretending to fight with Eve. And he keeps telling Eve again and again that you have a chance. Save your life and get out of here. Eve tells John that I will not leave from here without avenging my dad's death. My dad was killed by the Chancellor and I will kill him and then end this war. John sees that there were still 28 minutes left for 12 o'clock. He says, "Okay, you have 28 minutes. If you complete this work in 28 minutes before 12 o'clock, then I will leave you. But if your work is not finished by 12 o'clock, then I will be forced to kill you." Eve quietly leaves from here and through the back door. She was trying to reach the Chancellor, killing guards, taping mouth, and knocking people out with blows to head. She also shot all the guards coming in her way. So, the Chancellor also came to know that John has betrayed him. He has released that girl who now wants to kill the Chancellor. He again announces in the city that now whether it is a girl or a boy, whoever appears should be killed on sight. That is why now many people were coming in front of Eve to kill her. But Eve kept killing everyone, and then Eve reached a place where there were many weapons. From here she gets a flamethrower, and this makes her work very easy. She keeps burning everyone as she moves forward, and then she encounters such a man, who also had the same flamethrower. Before he burns her with this, Eve breaks the glass and jumps inside a building behind to save herself. And here she gets hold of the fire brigade's pipeline, with the pressure of which she knocks down the assassin in front, and she also exhausts all the flame of his weapon. Finally, Eve's fire brigades runs out of water, and she also falls down. So now that man comes and tries to kill Eve again. But to save Eve, John from the other side shoots the flamethrower in her hand. due to which that flamethrower explodes like a bomb. And that man dies, and Eve is saved. Eve knew that it was John who did this. That's why Eve thanks him by gesturing. Now the Chancellor knew that his survival is not only difficult, but impossible. That's why he tries to get out of here with his son's daughter, while taking her. But before he could drive the car out of the city, Eve comes in front of his car, and she stops the car by shooting the driver. Now she asks the Chancellor to get out. The Chancellor also gets out, and she tells him that I have killed all your men. After that, I don't want to kill anyone except you. John sees that there are only 2 minutes left for 12 o'clock, and now he feels that he will be forced to kill Eve. But before that, Eve shoots the Chancellor and kills him. As soon as it is 12 o'clock, John gets a call from the director, and she asks, "Did you kill Eve?" Then John says that I did not need this because the war has ended. Eve has killed the Chancellor. We see that Eve leaves from here with Daniel's daughter. And the scene shifts to some time later. A twist in the movie is revealed that Daniel was still alive, with whom Eve had left his daughter, and in this way she had fulfilled her promise to Daniel by saving his daughter. After which Eve is shown to us in a Ballerina hall a few days later. Here her childhood friend Ballerina was going to dance, whom she had come to see. All the assassins sitting here receive a message that a very big bounty has been placed to kill Eve. This message had also reached Eve. That is why Eve quietly leaves from here. And the movie ends with this mystery whether Eve will be able to survive or not.